Hello everybody and welcome to series 3 of my Q&A videos. Yes, we're back. It's been a while since my last one. In fact, that was way back in November of 2016. So we are long overdue a return of these little question and answers where I have a nice cup of tea and answer some of your questions, all with some random gameplay footage in the background. For this first episode back, I think it's probably going to be something like Mario Odyssey or Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I recorded ages ago, ready for just this occasion. So I asked, I think it was back in my 7-year anniversary video, for you to ask me some questions ready to bring this series back, and you very kindly have done so. So I've got a nice little list of questions to get started with, but to keep this series going, I only make these videos when I have enough questions to make another one. So if you do want to ask any more questions for the next episode, check the link in the description. It'll be a link to a Google form. Put your question, put your name so I can credit you, and I'll answer it sometime soon in an upcoming episode. Yeah, right. Let's get started then. So, it's exciting to be back. It's nice. I like these videos. They're quite chill. Just a nice little easy thing to do, and nice ramble. That's what I love. I love a good ramble. Anyway, the first question is from Crypto Hopkins, and they ask, what's your favourite gun in Destroy All Humans 2? With a name like Crypto, I should have guessed it'll be about that game. So, my favourite gun. Well, having just finished Let's Playing it, it's quite fresh in my memory, so that's good. It's tricky because there's sort of two different ways I could answer this. There's the weapon that I use most, and I just think is the most efficient and the best. And then there is sort of like the wackiest, the fun to use on occasion, but it's actually not that good to use all the time. My regular weapon would probably be the one I use the most, which is the Disintegrator Ray. And it's fairly boring and standard, but it's easy to forget the cool animation it actually has. Like when you kill someone with the Disintegrator Ray, it does that thing like where they turn them into, they burn up and then you see their skeleton and the skeleton turns into ash. And if you actually stop and pause on that animation, it's really cool. It's like that bit out of Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade where he drinks from the wrong cup. And I like that, but you get so used to seeing it that it becomes normal. So that would probably be my favourite weapon, just because it is the one I use most. But there are also ones like the Burrow Beast, which is just crazy cool because it's a big monster, rises out of the ground, eats up your enemies. And also the Dislocator does cause a crap ton of havoc and chaos and damage, like people flying all over the place, tanks flying all over the place. But you don't really use it much in the game, or at least I don't. I don't really see much purpose for it when you're actually trying to complete missions. So that is a good one to play around with, but not to actually play the game with. So I'm going to stick with the boring one and say Disintegrator Ray. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for the question, Crypto. Let's move on to the next one, which is from Hans. Hello, Hans. And he asks, is there any single thing that gave you the idea to start making videos? Any single thing. So a lot of people do ask, what made you start making videos all that time ago, back in 2011? And I always say, like, I've kind of forgot why, quite why I decided to make videos. Around that time, there was the general feeling of wanting to do something on the internet, be it Let's Plays or vlogs or blogs or whatever. I wanted to do something. I ended up just picking Let's Plays because I like playing games. But was there a single thing that made me? I do remember, and I've said this before in the past as well, I remember I used to watch Yogscast a lot back in the day. I still watch them every now and then, but they're a very different channel now. But yeah, back in the old Minecraft days of Yogscast, I did watch them a lot. And I do remember Lewis Brindley of the Yogscast saying something along the lines of like, it's a very motivational line. It was like, if you think you can do a better job at something, you probably can. And the point being that you just have to have the confidence and the willpower, and you'll probably do a better job. And I did think that when I saw some video game walkthroughs. Hey, I could probably do it better than that. And I mean, that's very arguable because my early Let's Plays are pretty bad. They're pretty rough around the edges, poor quality video, commentary, sound, everything. But at the time, I thought I was doing a better job. And obviously, the more you do it, the better you get, and so on and so forth. So that definitely helped. Hearing that sort of thing, that sort of triggered it. Like, oh, maybe I could do a better job than some of these videos I've been watching. But there were probably other factors that I really have forgot because I'm getting old and forgetting things. Oh boy, it's only going to get worse from this point on. And Hans asks another question afterwards. Are there any videos you were so embarrassed about you deleted them? Ooh, any deleted videos over the course of 7 years? That's a lot of videos I uploaded. But I don't think I've actually ever deleted one. Unless there was like a technical issue with it, like the sound was not right or the video quality went weird. I've definitely done that before. I've also deleted the video because I forgot to edit a part out where I answered the phone. So it's just me answering the phone in the middle of the recording and I completely forgot to edit that out. So aside from the technical reasons, I don't think there is. As in deleting. There are videos that I've made unlisted, so they are still viewable. You just need to have the link to them. But as for actually showing up on my channel, you can't see them on there. And I think I've done that for 2 series, I think. There may be more, but the 2 that I can remember is the first one was a failed Let's Play. Let's put it that way. I started to Let's Play a game called Sphinx and the Curse of the Mummy. No, Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy? I can't even remember what it was called now. Sphinx and the Mummy, something like that. Because I thought it would make for a good Let's Play. I was wrong in the end. I think that game, if you know what game I'm talking about, it was so close to being a good game. If only it had voice acting, because it didn't. It was all just text-based and I had to read it all, which ended up being a big problem. Because I didn't do voices. And B, it was too long. It was way too long to be a good Let's Play, because whenever I thought it was going to end, it just kept on going. Like when I did my little pre-playthrough to prepare for the Let's Play. So I just decided just to cut my losses and scrap that before I get too into it. But yeah, it was such a good game in many ways. The gameplay was fun, it looked really nice, but it just wasn't quite there for a good Let's Play. So I unlisted those, so they are still viewable if you can somehow find them on my maybe Twitter. There might be a link on there still. Anyway, there's that, and I also unlisted a Minecraft series that I did maybe a couple years ago, or just over a year ago, which was Captive Minecraft, a sort of adventure challenge map where you're stuck in a border and the border expands as you complete achievements. And at the time, I just watched the Yogscast again. I just watched them play it, and I thought, oh, that'd be fun to do. So I started to do a video series on that, playing by myself, and I got about 7 episodes in, and I got a bit bored of playing on my own, and I just, lost interest. So I just, again, cut my losses, decided before I get too into it, just hide those videos and forget it ever existed. And then thankfully, sometime afterwards, I did a Minecraft map with Joda and Nexa from the JFS. So that's sort of what I wanted to do in the first place, was do some sort of multiplayer Minecraft map. And so, yeah, it's good to do it with some of the guys from the JFS instead of being on my lonesome. But yeah, no deleted videos. The only videos that are, well, yeah, they're not even deleted. They're private. Private videos are just whenever I've done like a pre-stream video, like, hey, I'm about to stream in 2 hours time, come watch me. I'm not going to leave those up, so they're the ones that I set to private afterwards. But that's really it. There are probably some videos I should delete from my channel, or at least hide. I'm thinking of the Trump one in particular. But listen, you have to forgive me, I made that video when Trump was still a joke, and then he won, and then it's not funny. It's the same with all the Trump stuff that I did on the JFS. I did it when it was fun to make fun of Trump. Then he won, and then it got serious, and like, oh god, what's happening? So, yeah, it's just the beauty of hindsight there, isn't it? Anyway, thank you for your questions, Hans. Let's move on to a question from Zalfa from the JFS. And he asks, Muck, would you ever come down here to Southern California? Because that is where Zalfa lives. Would I ever go to Southern California? Yes. Oh yeah. I'd love to go to America. Anywhere in America I'd love to go to. Yeah, East Coast, West Coast, north, south, I don't care. But yeah, California. There's lots of famous locations there I'd love to go see. I've actually heard in many ways that California is not the most touristy place to go to because it is just so massive, and tourists have the wrong impression that they can go there and they can see all these different places in one go, and then they realise, crap, this place is huge. We're not going to be able to get it all done. And I've also heard that some parts of it aren't necessarily like, I don't know, people in their head have a different idea of how it actually is. Like the Walk of Fame, is that what it's called? You know, with all the stars. That the area that's in is not actually very not that's not very nice, but it's not very tourist friendly. I don't know. I could be getting that completely wrong, but there is definitely parts that I'd like to go see. In fact, I remember looking at this website. I was doing some sort of research for a university project, and I was looking up interesting one-page scrolly websites, and I found this one that was all about Route 1. Is it Route 1? Highway 1. Yeah, Highway 1. The one that goes all the way down the west coast, and like from San Francisco and then into California. Man, that looks like a great trip. I would love to do that. All along the coastline, seeing all the different towns. And I remember one part of the website was like you go through a tree trunk, like a really massive, great big redwood or something. I mean, any road trip in America would be cool, but that one in particular, some of the sights you'd see, beautiful. And as for SoCal, yeah, I'd go there. Of course I would. Hollywood, is that where? Oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know what the difference is between... Where's the line between North and South California? Beats me. Any California. You have to give me a tours, Alpha. If I ever go there, you have to be my tourist guide, all right? Okay, next question. Thank you, Alpha. The next one is from Kyle Bennett, and he asks, what is your favourite PS2 game and why? Now, this is one I've definitely answered before, but I reckon I've given multiple answers because I cannot make up my mind, and I still can't make up my mind. So I'm just going to say the same answer I've always said, which is probably a mixture of The Simpsons, Hit and Run, Time Splitters 2 or 3, GTA San Andreas. I'd actually argue a new one to add to my list now, which is Everything or Nothing. I think that's just such a great, polished game. Very good PS2 game. And you've got to have a bit of Bond on there somewhere, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be one of those ones. I'm leaning towards GTA San Andreas more than The Simpsons, just because I have so many memories of San Andreas, and just the amount of stuff you can do in that game is just crazy for when it was released back in 2004, I think that came out, so a long time. Yeah, a mixture of those, I would say, definitely. Anyway, next question is from Jake, and he says, "Hi Joe, I'm glad your Q&As are back." Well, thank you, as they are my favourite videos. Here is my question. Would you ever consider revisiting or replaying Time Splitters Future Perfect? Oh, well, there you go, just talking about Time Splitters. Would I ever go back and replay it? Well, in the past, I've always said I'd never replay, Let's Play, because I don't see the point. Move on, play new games, do new stuff, don't keep thinking about old stuff. And then I went ahead and did a Let's Play of Destroy All Humans 2, so I'm a big fat phony. And to be honest, if I were to go back and replay or Let's Play another series I've done, it would be Time Splitters Future Perfect, simply because the old, like my current Let's Play of it is so old and bad quality, and commentary is probably pretty bad because it was very early on. I could probably do a much better job of it now. So would I ever go back and redo it? I don't know. I definitely wouldn't for a while now. Not having just redone Destroy All Humans 2, I definitely want to play some different new games. But that's not to say that I'd never go back to it in the future. Future Perfect. But yeah, you're close in that would be the one I would replay, because I'm not as happy as I could be with that series. Right, thank you for the question, Jake. Next one is from Mr. Friendly283. Hi, Mr. Friendly. Your question: will you Let's Play Red Dead Redemption 2 when it comes out? Red Dead Redemption. That's one of my favourite games. Not a PS2 one, but one of my favourite games. And would I Let's Play the second one? No. I'm not a big fan of Let's Playing brand new games, just because I feel like it's not... I don't know, now I'm getting into like what's the difference between a Let's Play and a walkthrough. And I feel like that would be a walkthrough. But I don't know, that... now I'm saying that I might be wrong. But the point is that I think Let's Playing that when it's brand new is not the way I would do it. I'd just like to play it myself. I'd play it away from recording, away from commentary, and really enjoy it. And then maybe a few years down the line, if it really is a great game, maybe I'd do a video series on it. But I don't think I've ever done a new game, really, unless it's been something with the JFS lot, or... No, I don't think I have. I'm doubting myself now, but I would just play it normally. I wouldn't bother Let's Playing it, to be honest with you. And I really do hope it's going to be good. A lot of people are worried about the way that GTA 5 has gone and GTA Online and the focus on multiplayer compared to single player and all the in-game transactions you can have now. And they're worried that that's going to be the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. I hope it's not. I hope it's going to be just as solid as the first game was. Because, man, that game is so good. So good. Right, thank you for the questions, Mr. Friendly. Or question, Mr. Friendly. The next one is from Ryan, a.k.a. Goodnight Ryan. Your questions are... These are very important questions that have divided friendship groups and felled nations. Wow. Okay. Whew. Question number 1. Would it be easier to rob a bank with a hovercar? Asking the important questions, Ryan. Would it be easier to rob a bank with a hovercar? How high does the car hover? If it's like... if it's like the one from Star Wars, the speeder, Luke's land speeder, whatever it's called, where it hovers about, I don't know, a foot off the ground. I don't know. I don't think it could go any faster, could it really? It probably could go faster. But I mean, you still have to get away. You can't just fly away in a hovercar. That's a separate thing, right? Flying car, hovercar, they're different things. So, would it be easier? Maybe in terms of like, I feel like they could probably accelerate really fast. But yeah, you still have to get away and you might be caught in a chase. If they can hover quite high, like in Futurama, you know, they go up quite high in the sky, you see in the intro. I think you have more chance, because then you don't have to worry about, you know, police on the ground. Then you have to worry about, I don't know, helicopters and stuff, but you should have enough time to get away, I reckon. So it depends on the height of the hover, to be honest with you. I can see how that might have divided friendship groups. And his second question is, opinion on strawberry milk, fan or non-fan? Choose wisely. Ooh, okay. Well, you'll be pleased to hear that I am a big fan. I love strawberry milkshake. In fact, it's my favourite flavoured milkshake. I think it's a safe bet, strawberry milkshake. Chocolate milkshake, it's risky, because you can get really, really nice chocolate milkshake, or you can get chocolate milkshake that doesn't taste like chocolate at all, and it's some weird, cheap thing. And banana would be my favourite, except it's very inconsistent. Either it's too banana-y, and actually I don't really like bananas, the actual fruit. I like banana milkshake, but bananas themselves, nah. They can be too banana-y or not banana-y enough. Strawberry is always sort of around the same level. So I'm definitely a big fan of strawberry milkshake. How can I talk so long about milkshake? I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the questions, Ryan. Let me just double check how we're getting with time. Yeah, we have a bit of time left. And I've been forgetting to drink my tea. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, it's getting cold. Right, next question is, what is your favourite Simpsons game? And that's from Awesome Gamer. Well, I guess to match the previous answer I've given in this episode, which is my favourite PS2 games, I'm going to have to say The Simpsons Hit and Run. By far my favourite Simpsons game. Everyone wants a sequel or something similar to it, don't they? Like a sort of open world Springfield Simpsons game. It'll be sweet. Are we going to get one? Probably not. But I think second, not necessarily a close second, but a game that is good is the Simpsons game, like the the one that came out in about 2007. It's definitely not a bad game. I really like all the different levels and like the themes around each level, but it really can't compete with just the I don't know. It's mainly the nostalgia tied to The Simpsons Hit and Run, I think, that makes it my favourite. I loved that game as a kid, and I love it now. Right. Thank you for the question. Next one is from Billy Bob Joe. And Billy Bob asks, how old were you when you had your first girlfriend? Oh, okay, now I've got to think, because that's gonna be one of those silly girlfriend boyfriend things at school. You know those stupid little things you have at school where it's like, oh, do you want to go out with me? Yes, okay, and then you that's it. That's literally it. Like, you don't do anything because you're like 10, and that is all that is. So does that count? That has to count, right? Because that, I don't know. In that case, probably like, I'm trying to match the year of school to what age I would have been. Year 3. I don't think I'd won year 3. Maybe year 4. Definitely year 5. Let's go with year 5 because I was definitely... And that would have been 10, actually. I would have been 10 years old. So, yeah. And that's one of those very, very silly... Hey, will you go out with me? Yes. you don't even really have to know them. It's just like something you do at school, in class. I don't know. Is that still a thing? I feel like kids probably do it differently now because of like smartphones and stuff, but it's probably not. They probably still do that sort of silly playground stuff. I don't know. All right, let's move on to... let's do one more question, and this can be from Ben Wells. Ben's question is, I don't know why, but I get the feeling you're the type of person who enjoys the 007 series. Do you now? Have you ever felt the urge to read the Ian Fleming novels? Usually people read the book, then get disappointed with the film. It'll be interesting to see someone's reaction going the other way. First the films, then the books. I wonder if the Bond star we all know came about through the directors and writers of the films or from Fleming's novels. It'll be funny if Fleming intended to make ultra-realistic, complex series a la Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and the film industry made his books into tsunami parasail surfing. Makes me think. Do the books have more bad puns in them than the films? Oh, well, that's a long question. Have I ever read any of the Fleming novels? I have tried to read... Yes, I've tried to read... I think it was the first one. I think I tried to read Casino Royale. And I think I did, but it really didn't make an impression on me as much as I thought it would. And this was a few years ago now. I have lots of other Bond books to read. I have the Spectre trilogy just over there on that shelf, which is... what is that? That's Thunderball... No. Yeah, that's Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I think? Might be getting that wrong. But I haven't even touched them yet. They're still in the packaging, I think. Oh dear. And I don't know. They are very different. You're right. They are very, very different to the films. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I think I'm just, as bad as it sounds, I'm just not much of a reader. I do... It makes me tired whenever I start to read a book. It's like, I'll just shove on the film. I'd rather watch Sean Connery. But it is something that I do want to do, is at least try and read some more. That's why I bought that trilogy. As for whether the books have just as many puns, I don't think they do. I think that is a film thing. However, I'm trying to think, like the early Bond films, like Fleming was alive for the first 2 Bond films, and I know they didn't have many bad, like, cheesy puns in them because they were both quite serious, being Dr. No and From Russia with Love. It was only really with Goldfinger they started to get a bit more cheesy and a bit more, funny lines and things like that. And by that point he died, unfortunately. So I guess as far as he was concerned, the films were doing the books justice, and then later on they started to get a bit wackier and a bit crazier with double taking pigeons and exploding pens. But it's an interesting question, yeah. And at some point I really should get around to reading the books, and when I do, I'll have to give you all a review and tell you what I think. But thank you for the question, Ben. Right, that's going to do it, I think, for this first episode back of Q&A Series 3. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you have any questions to keep this series going, do leave them in the Google form. The link is in the description. Check that out, click it, put your question, put your name. I'll credit you in the next episode. And yeah, I'll get around to it at some point, all with some more random gameplay footage in the background. And hopefully some warmer teas, because I've let this one go way too cold. But thank you all very much for watching, and until the next one, bye-bye.